Do you feel connected to your life force? Do you feel fed by the very life energy of the universe? Or do you feel drained, tired, frustrated, despondent? Do you feel inspired and creative? Or do you feel like it's the same old, same old? And does your body, does your physical existence feel vibrant? Or do you feel stuck and stagnant? Let me explain to you what's happening, and let me explain to you what you can do about it. It's actually quite simple, but you have to recognize what is happening. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, you are created by the universe, by the divine, by God, by the great mystery, by the consciousness that creates all of life. You came into this world, a physical dimension, and the way that spirit or consciousness transitions into the physical is through energy, vital life force energy. This is called in the yogic culture prana. I believe in some ancient Chinese cultures, it's called qi. There's a lot of different words for it. The spirit that creates you, the energy that flows through you, that is your being, the energy that is sent here to make your body, to sustain your body, and to make everything in this physical world, and to give you the enthusiasm and ability to connect with those things and enjoy those things. That is who you are. That is how you were sent to this world, and that is your divine right to exist in that state. So where does it go wrong? It happens when we get lost a little bit and we forget what we're doing. I like to think of the metaphor of an actor picking up his script, beginning to play the role of the character and forgetting that he is an actor and getting lost in the character. Literally what happens is you get lost in the mind, in the egoic mind. So the egoic mind is your thoughts. Thinking is a tool that you were given in order to navigate life and to get through this world. But your thoughts can start to take control of you. They can start thinking you. They can start telling you what to think. And specifically, they can start using you to sap energy in the wrong direction. So let's start by saying that thoughts are a form of energy. So you come into this world as energy. You direct the consciousness, the soul, the being, the I am presence. Direct the energy through thought into physical matter. For example, I think I want a sandwich. I will physically manifest a sandwich by taking energy and putting it into a sequence of thoughts that say, get up, go to the kitchen, make a sandwich, put it on a plate, eat it. And then I have created the physical world of a sandwich. So thinking is part of that flow of how energy goes into thoughts and goes into matter. Thinking is a necessary thing. But if you start thinking too much, every single thought that you think, not just the thought of a sandwich, but every single thought that you have, don't forget this, don't forget that, what about this, what about that, look at that person, look at that other person, why is this happening to me, what about tomorrow, oh my God, did you remember yesterday? All of those things cost you energetically. Think of it as though you're walking around with $1,001 bills, and every single thought that you think, you have to hand over $1 and hand over $1 and hand over $1. At the end of the day, you're going to be exhausted. So what's really exhausting about these thoughts is when the thoughts start to create emotions. So the emotions now are the way that this energy that comes in through your thoughts builds up. It builds up like a pressure valve. And the emotions will come out as anger, frustration, or in a a different flavor, if you will. It'll come out as depression, as sadness, as self-pity, as unmotivation, whatever. I could go on for days explaining the different types of thoughts and the different types of emotions that they create. I just want to explain to you that is the new path that your energy is taking. Instead of going and creating life, it is coming and it is creating a thought, and then it is building up and being stored as an emotion, and then the emotion has a physical expression. The emotion is either going to be an explosive reaction. If you build anger, then you scream or you hit someone. That is the explosion of the emotion. But if you don't explode it, it has to create physicality. It has to express itself in the physical world. It will express itself in your body. So your energy will be drained, will be sapped through thoughts, which will create and build emotions, which will then affect your physical existence, most likely your physical body. Because chances are you don't burst into tears or burst into screaming every single day. Chances are you are funneling that, you're storing that energy, that emotional energy in your body somehow. And that's going to start turning into tensions and pains, but then eventually it's going to end up turning into illness and dis-ease. Okay, so what I want to talk about is the nature of these emotions and the nature of these thoughts. So this is your egoic mind you're talking about here. This is an illusory self. It is not your real self. It is very limited. Sort of like AI. Think of it as an artificial intelligence. It can only do so much. When it comes to thinking, when your mind thinks, you never think an original thought. You never think an inspired thought. You never feel beauty. Beauty is felt in the heart. Creativity comes from source. The mind only repeats the same thoughts over and over. And those thoughts are thoughts of, you can call them judgment, but if you go to a subtler level, it's not even judgment, it's labeling, any type of labeling. So the harsh version of it is, you're mean, you're evil, you're stupid. Those are judgments. But even a less judgmental mind is still doing some form of judging, some form of othering, me and the other. This here, that over there, me and the world, me and life. So it's going to other it in whatever way. So even the naming of something or the describing of something is part of what the mind does. It will not come up with an original creative thought. It will just describe in greater and greater detail. That's important. We'll get to that in a sec. And then it generates emotions. Now, the thing with emotions is that the mind will only generate negative emotions. Love, joy, and peace, those already exist. Those are your base existence. That's your true nature. That's what's being obscured by this egoic mind. So you're only going to pick thoughts of description and judgment, and they're only going to create emotions of pain, separation, aloneness, fear, anxiety, and anger. That's all that's going to happen. And you're going to get stuck in this. It begins to happen intensely after the age of, say, 7 or so. It gets worse in teenage years, gets worse as you get older and older. At some point, you're completely unconscious and you never revisit your true state, your true consciousness of love, peace, and joy. And you lose your ability. You lose your access to your energy stream. That's the point of this video, is losing access to your energy stream. The energy that should be creating your vitality is fueling a loop of these feelings. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say is that you will express at different places. Sometimes what you have is you have a runaway thought stream, or if you're not aware of your thoughts, sometimes you have uncontrolled emotions, so you have emotional eruptions. And if you're not aware of your emotions, then or you're not able to express them or process them, what you end up doing is having a buildup in the body and creating disease. So the dysfunction of the egoic mind can focus like a beam of light through a magnifying glass in different areas. Either, oh my God, the thoughts won't stop, the anxiety won't stop, the frustration won't stop, or oh my God, I have anger issues, and I don't know what to do about it, or depression, or oh my God, I have illness, I am sick, I am dying. Somewhere along the way, those are just another way of saying that your life energy has become thwarted and stored in a part of your being that is not your true being and is not your highest form of expression, and you deserve to have a better form of expression for them. So what do we do about this? Okay, so what you have to do is reverse the process. So energy goes into thoughts, emotions, and physical pain. You want to reverse that, and you want to watch your tendency to have a pain body, your tendency to have uncontrolled emotions, and your tendency to have a runaway thought stream. You want to watch it and observe it. Are you saying that watching is all you need to do? Looking at my thoughts is all I need to do? Yes, it is actually. Because the one who watches is consciousness. The one who watches is another plane of your existence. The one who watches is I am. The one who watches is your divine consciousness. It is God. So I use the word watch, observe. It sounds simple, but what I'm saying is I'm saying regain the seat of God. Remember that you are divine. Live as your divine self, the one who observes, not the one who thinks. How do you do this? You remember what we said about thoughts, and I said it was important? The nature of thoughts that come from the mind that are on a loop are descriptive, labeling, and judgmental. If you are doing that, then you are still sapping your energy and siphoning them into the thought, emotion, physical pain stream version of life. You don't want to live, you don't want to do that. So how you know that you're maintaining the position of observer, of consciousness, of God, is when you realize that there is no judgment and there is no labeling. If something is happening, let's say your neighbor is annoying you, you start thinking thoughts of being annoyed, and then that builds up an emotion of frustration, and then that builds up into a headache, right? What we can do instead is that we can simply observe and see life. This is what your neighbor is doing. Do not label it. Do not put a description to it. Do not say it is good or bad. Do not even say it is this or that. Is your neighbor mowing the lawn at this hour of the morning to piss you off? No. Why have you assigned a sentence, a judgment, a declaration to what it is? Recognize, oh, there is sound. That's it. That's it. Just recognize, observe it. So that's just a long-winded way of me telling you how to recognize when the mind is tricking you into thinking about thinking. You don't want to do that. You want to be the observer. The observer observes. The observer does not label at all. At all. When you are in divine consciousness, consciousness will not even see. There's so much of a lack of labeling that you won't even see that it is me and my neighbor over here and over there doing this and doing that. That they're doing is annoying me. None of those words exist when you're living in divine consciousness. So when you sit in consciousness, consciousness is source. Source is light. The light of consciousness, when it shines on that, let's call it the egoic mind, which is your thoughts, your emotions, and your pain in your body, your egoic mind, your pain body, whatever you want to call it. When consciousness looks on it, the light of consciousness, the light of the creative force of this universe is shining on that thing. It's like turning on a light and watching cockroaches scurry. The whole process begins to unravel. It just begins to unravel. It loses all of its power. First, it loses its grip on you. So it's not like trying to sink you down, like having ball and chain tied to your foot when you're trying to tread water. It will stop pulling you down and pulling you into unconsciousness. First, then it will go dormant. And then after constantly holding consciousness and refusing to engage in it, it will dissolve away and it will get out of you. And it will heal from you forever. It will heal from your family. It will heal from your home. It will heal from your community. It will go away. And this creature that had been created will dissolve and return to its original form, which is energy. The light of consciousness shining upon patterns will melt it away, like stirring a clump of salt in a glass of water. It will dissolve and disappear. The light of consciousness will melt away your pain patterns, your pain thoughts, pain emotions, and pain body, and pain in your body, and will return that energy back to you, back to the consciousness that can now turn it into something. You regain the seat of consciousness, the seat of the driver, but you also regain that energy to do something with. You can now use that energy to create life, to create art, to build a better body, to heal your body, to build a better world around you. So, okay, you have to maintain the seat of the observer. And you know that you're there when there's no judgment, no labeling. So what does that mean? Remember, this series is based on Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, specifically, I think it's chapter 2 or 3 on the pain body. And he will tell you that what you have to do is accept the now in it as it is. The only way that you can not label or judge what is happening is to accept the now, to surrender to what is. I'm not saying you have to like it. Liking it is another form of judgment. I'm saying you just have to release the resistance, release the, I hate this, I don't want this, I don't like this, this isn't the way it should be, this way it should be that. Accept the now fully. It is. Breathe it in and breathe it out. That does not mean, I'm not trying to tell you to suffer or be in pain or be tormented all the days of your life. I'm just saying that when you accept the now, that is how you recognize where you're in the right place. You're in a seat of consciousness. You're in your divine self. And your divine self is connected to everything, connected to everyone. Your divine self is inspired and is creative and knows solutions. Answers to fix your world will come from there, but it will not come from there if you do not accept your world. So you must surrender. You must accept the now, what is. Okay, so after a while, this becomes easier for sure. But in the beginning, when you're now starting off, this is impossibly difficult. What are you supposed to do? I always advise people to turn to their breath. Let your breath help you. When you are having difficulty with you're laying in bed 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, you're trying to sleep and your neighbor turns on the lawnmower, you want to go down the avenue of labeling, describing, thinking, emoting, and getting sick. But instead you want to hold on to consciousness. How do you do that? You want to remain as the observer. How do you do that? You breathe. In the beginning, breathing will help you until eventually you figure out how to do this spontaneously. Focus on the sound of your breath. Focus on breathing. Focus on the feeling of your breath. And do that over and over, refusing to send your energy to thoughts, refusing to fuel the emotions and the pain until it goes away. Focus on your breath. And your breath is a form of directing energy. It will take care of everything. If you are in the habit of singing mantras, sacred songs, traditional songs, that's another way of occupying the mind so that it does something repetitively instead of taking your energy into thoughts. That's another way. Personally, I prefer breath, but a mantra, turn on a mantra, go online, find a mantra and listen to it and engage in it and sing it. And it will stop the sucking of this force of this pattern, this pain pattern. And it will help you to maintain consciousness for just long enough so that it either goes dormant or begins to dissolve. The other way, the other piece of advice that I want to give you is, again, remember we said don't think about it. What you want to do is you want to feel. You want to feel the tension, feel the pull, feel the tendency, feel the anger rising. Do not think about it. Do not label it. Do not fight it. Do not try to describe it. Do not ask where it came from. Do not wonder when it will go away. But recognize that it is there and feel it. Feel it. You're not going to die. You're not going to explode. It's going to feel like you're going to explode, but you're not going to explode. Feel it. Breathe into it. Feel it. Breathe into it. It will go away. So I hope this made sense. I hope you are following. This is all part of the Pain Body series. I will put all of these videos, they should end up being about 5 or 6 videos, in a playlist called The Pain Body. I will number them so that you can follow them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I just look forward to a few more in the coming days. I thank you for your support. Please do leave me comments or send me messages to let me know how you're resonating with this, if it's making sense. And what I would love is for you to put a comment today talking about how you're dealing with this in your life today, and then come back to it in a month or in 6 months and have a look at it and see how much progress you have made. The progress is progressive. So in any given moment, it feels like you're not making progress, but when you look back, you go, oh, wow, I used to really struggle with this and now I'm not anymore. I thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm honored to be part of this journey and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.